Good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend, or at least for most of us, it's the start of the weekend. I know in some cultures, Saturday is the second day of the weekend, but welcome. Glad you're here. Hope that you're doing well. It's another edition of our Data Roundtable. If you haven't attended before, the Data Roundtable is intended to be an open format where we talk about anything data related. It's intended to bring all of us together as data professionals to talk and just kind of live in the community, talk about the things that worry us, that we're working on, that we've read, that we've experimented with. It's a really important part of the process. It's really important for us to be able to talk things out and share ideas, hear ideas, and be able to apply a critical eye to the things you hear, be able to accept criticism or opposing views, or rather just differing views, right? They're not necessarily opposing views, they're just different views, right? So all of that is super important, and that's the whole point of the Data Roundtable, to bring us all together to share our knowledge and to just kind of talk things out, see how things go, right? So thank you for being here. If you're in the chat, feel free to let me know that you're out there. Feel free to say hello. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're doing. How is your weekend going? We can really talk about anything you guys like. Yesterday, I got caught up with all of my coaching clients. I do that on Fridays. I make sure I'm reaching out to everybody. I try to stay proactive of starting up conversations. So many exciting things going on in the world of data. I know for those of you that are, maybe in school, or you're still kind of building up your skills, or in the middle of the job search, it can seem frustrating. It can seem like there's no jobs available or no people working in the industry, but I assure you that there are. There are some really good professionals out there. I'm fortunate to be able to work with some of them. So just keep going, and just keep on building your skills, and keep on living the data life. So in the chat, we have Denelson, our first chatter today. Denelson says, "Good morning, Sir Dennis. How is everyone doing?" Good morning to you too, Denelson. Thanks so much for your support. Appreciate you being here. I'm doing really good, thank you. We had a little bit of a monsoon hit us yesterday here in Las Vegas. I happened to be went out right in the middle of it. So a lot of rain, but that also cooled down everything. So it's a beautiful day out today. I took my dog out to the dog park this morning. We had a great time out there. I had a coaching call first thing this morning, so that was really fun. So things are going well. How are things for you, Denelson? Hopefully you're doing well out there in LA. Manoj, my good friend Manoj says, "Hello, Sir Dennis, and everyone. Greetings from Bangalore, India." Greetings to you too, Manoj. Hope that you're doing well out there. Hope that you're staying cool. I know that many parts of India are very, very hot right now, if not all of India, or if not all of the northern hemisphere. But hope you're doing well out there, Manoj. Let us know how you're doing. It's certainly been an interesting summer. Um, I don't know how anybody can doubt global warming at this time, right? It is so warm everywhere you go. I mean, there's entire sections of the world, or entire countries, where you can't find a cool spot. The US is certainly approaching that, where there's no state that is exempt from really hot weather at some point. So hopefully you're out there staying cool, you're staying in the air conditioner just like Mother Nature wants us wants us to do. And hopefully you're taking care of yourself and developing more and more in your data science practice, right? That's one of the um, challenges of life, making sure that we have enough time to do all the things we want to do, but also keep on advancing in our profession, keep on advancing in our knowledge, keep on working. So with that, if you guys in the chat want to say hello and let me know any articles you've read or any white papers that have caught your eye, what do you guys think about Grok 4? Grok 4 has been out there. OpenAI is, always cooking up stuff. What about Claude Code? Has anybody done anything significant with Claude Code? Let me know. Let me know if you guys are experimenting. Manoj says, "I'm doing good, Sir Dennis. Monsoon started in South India." Yep. Yeah, I guess as we get later in the summer, right? It's monsoon season, right? Like I know where I live, monsoon season is in August, so we can definitely have more rain. We certainly had one yesterday. It was a lot of rain. And what's funny is that I like doing my own work on my cars, and I did. I managed. I just out of pure coincidence. I knew that my windshield wipers were a little old, so I swapped them out yesterday, and I did it just in time for the monsoon because then later I went out and I got caught in the rain. But my windshield wipers in the rain, they worked beautifully. And when you fix something on your car and it works as intended, there's no better feeling, right? There's no better feeling than getting out there and doing that. So Manoj says, "Yes, sir. I'm practicing and advancing data skills." Cool. Um, do you feel like sharing what you're working on? It's up to you if you do or don't. But let us know, how exactly are you advancing those? Let us know. For me, I still want to get more practice with some of the stuff that you find on Hugging Face. I have completely given up on Lovable. I have not been impressed by Grok 4. I think Grok 4 might be a little bit of a little bit. I don't know. Just I haven't been wowed by Grok 4. Let me know if anybody has been amazed by it. I still haven't found an interesting case study where I was like, "Whoa, that was amazing." Denelson says, "I saw you had issued the refund from the data science school. Since the project wasn't viable, is there something you'll do still to try the information you work on that out in some way?" Denelson, that's an excellent question, and I do think about that, Denelson. So as Denelson correctly says, I did try to start a data science school. I am grateful for everyone that signed up, but unfortunately it didn't get to the level that I wanted it to, in order for it to be viable. But in that process of making that decision of starting the school and thinking about the school, in that whole process, I really thought to myself, I don't want to spread myself too thin. What are the things that I really enjoy? And what I enjoy the most is working with people one on one. I love checking in with people. I love tutoring people. I love talking to them. We talk about data. We talk about life. We talk about jobs. We talk about families. That's what I really want to be doing. And I've been blessed that that portion of what I do has been growing. It continually grows. So I'm really fortunate about that. And I want to make sure that that's where I'm focused, because it helps the people and it also helps me because I really enjoy it. So it's a win-win, right? So, Denelson, my fear is that as that business grows, then even some of the content creation would have to slow down because I wouldn't want to sacrifice attention to my clients due to content creation, right? So it's a little bit of a delicate balance on my part where I want to make sure that I'm serving the audience because I still want to produce good data scientists. That's always been my core interest of putting good information out there. But I also have to, pay attention to my coaching clients. I don't want to. I don't want to lose their trust or serve them poorly. So that's also part of it. So Denelson, it's a good question. I'm not 100% sure where that's going to end up, but my coaching information is always in my links, and that's just really what I enjoy doing. And I've been blessed that it's been a growing part of my business. So Manoj says, accomplished multiple time series problems addressing supply chain management in all 20 different procurement societies, solved using vector error correction model. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that detail. I was just about to ask you that. Addresses short-term fluctuations and tells whether it will get well in the long-term relationship. Okay. Um, Why do I feel like I've read a study or a library on that? Like who's behind that? Is somebody behind that? Like is that like a Google library or something? Because I feel like I've heard about that before, Manoj. So maybe if you want to put more details in the chat. But this is all part of the data roundtable, right? That hey, he mentioned this tool. What's that all about? It's kind of reminding me of something in the back of my mind. Um, I feel like I've read a paper or the library specs for this. But feel free to let us know more about that, Manoj. It sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. And you know what? I love the fact, Manoj, that you're like, how do I say this? I love the fact that you're still focused on machine learning, right? It seems like everybody's like, oh, I gotta learn AI, I gotta learn LLMs, I gotta, learn transformers, I gotta be an NLP. Like, there's still a lot of other opportunities out there, guys, right? Like, of course, AI is cool to work with and play with and assist you, right? But there's plenty of traditional machine learning problems out there that are still very interesting, very relevant, can definitely still get you jobs and develop a specialty in. So good on you, Manoj, for saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go look at some time series stuff. Good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. You just never know when what people are working on or where their interests lie. So I'm glad that you're not following the crowd and you're kind of trying to pave your own path and say, hey, time series interests me. I'm gonna do some time series. So good for you. Good for you. I think it's very healthy to forge your own path every once in a while, right? Or maybe all of the time. I don't know. But Denelson, I hope that answered your question. I know that maybe that's not a fantastic answer, but I'm gonna do my best to not let content creation be affected at some point. But who knows? Who knows? Content creation takes a lot of time, guys. It takes a lot of time. Speaking of taking a lot of time, guys, I'm gonna post about this later today on Instagram. But I can't believe that I posted a hilarious Taylor Swift meme yesterday and it got like 10 likes. You guys know how long it takes me to edit that? I am a terrible editor. I suck at editing. It took me forever to come up with that meme and nobody saw it. Oh my gosh. That can be so frustrating. But I thought it was hilarious. So if you guys want to check it out, go on my Instagram. I put up a Taylor Swift meme. Who doesn't like a good Taylor Swift meme? Come on, guys. I can't believe that basically nobody saw that posting yesterday. It hurt my heart when I saw the numbers on that. Why you guys got to do me like that? Yeah, I want to look it up real quick on my profile. It got 20 likes, guys. 20 likes. Come on. It took me like 3 hours to put that together. I am terrible at editing. But anyways, I appreciate that, Manoj and Denelson, you're sharing what you're working on or different thoughts. So thanks for that. Anybody else in the chat, this is our data roundtable format where you can bring up any topic you'd like, anything related to data or related to life, whatever you want to talk about. Feel free to put it in the chat. That's the whole purpose of the roundtable. Today I'm going to do my streaming and then I'm going to go have my breakfast because I haven't eaten yet. It's been a busy morning. And then we'll see where the day leads. Manoj says, my particular problem is the lumpy skin disease has affected the procurement milk. I'm using this approach to address because data is non-stationary and forecasting is not our ultimate goal. Okay. Yeah, so Manoj, again, credit to you for um, kind of sticking with your interests, right? Because I know you have a lot of agricultural interests. Yeah, I know you and I have spoken about that. So good for you for kind of staying in that and saying, hey, I'm really interested in agriculture. It's part of the things that I've done. So I'm going to apply data science to it. So good for you. You know, that's I think that's a great usage of, you have an interest, you want to apply data science to it, and then you can also supplement your learning, your development, your work with AI, right? Because you could be using AI to help you come up with some of these ideas, right? I think it's kind of cool that you can also just tell AI, like, hey, this is the general problem I'm trying to solve. What are some of the algorithms that I could use here? Like, you could give it an open-ended question like that, and maybe it'll tell you time series, maybe it'll tell you something else, right? So yeah, good for you, Manoj, for combining all of those interests. It's a healthy approach to your entire data career. So if you're just joining us in the chat, feel free to say hello. Feel free to let us know what you're working on or anything else that's data related. Denelson says, I am still making some progress with the airport support project. I've been able to find a source that has given me live data, and I've used archive data to help me start the project. So far, very fun. All right, cool. So you have sample data. That's awesome. That's really good. So remember, well, first of all, let's frame this for everybody. So Denelson was talking about using AI to help monitor or help be an air traffic controller, right? Because, here in the US, we have had some recent incidents that are very scary, um, as far as air traffic control goes, right? So we had discussed how, because it's air traffic control, because it goes over the radio, it's very unstructured data. But what if you could use AI to be your transcriber, to go from that unstructured data into structured data and basically listen to the air traffic control radio traffic and say, hey, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that there's a flight by this airline at this time. They're on this runway. Okay, that flight took off. Next flight. This and this and just kind of like give you some structured data to work with. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, wouldn't that be cool if you could prompt AI to be a transcriber like that? I mean, there's voice capabilities, right? A lot of people don't necessarily use the voice capabilities, but it exists, right? So why not do that, right? So Denelson, I'm glad that you're making headway with that project. I think it could be a super cool project, and how you put all that together. So good on you for doing that. Good on you for doing that. So far, very fun. Yeah, I'm sure you can have a lot of fun with that project. And what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is that you learn some new prompts, right? Or you learn the capabilities of what AI can do. Maybe you'll find that AI isn't fast enough for the transcriptions, or that it gets confused, or that it doesn't do well with noisy data. Who knows, right? That's part of the experimentation. That's kind of part of the adventure of doing all of this, right? So good for you for doing that. I think you're on a good track there. You do that, you put some things together, you talk about the business impact, and you put that in a LinkedIn article. You've helped put yourself that much closer to a data science job, or whatever it is else that you want to accomplish. So good for you, Denelson. So if you're in the chat, feel free to say hello. Feel free to let us know what you're working on. There's no agenda here. There's no um, other ulterior motives. It's just an open roundtable for us to chat. Denelson says, I have already learned a lot of new tools, so I'm already grateful to the project. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and you know what, too, Denelson? It's not every day that somebody wants to work on audio data, right? I mean, audio data for machine learning is very hard to work with, and the algorithms aren't always clear to people. But good for you for taking that on. I like that. Manoj says, yes, I'm on board with you, sir. I feel it's mind solving that problem of data. I'm not a fan of the agricultural domain, but I'm trying to be a good statistician who addresses data problems. Oh, okay. Manoj, I'm sorry if I mixed that up, but I thought that you had some history working in that domain. But maybe, maybe I'm wrong in that, so I apologize for that. Um, but um, but yeah, if you're trying to be a good statistician who says, "Hey, I'm still here, and I'm gonna focus on the numbers. I'm gonna focus on getting the best answer that I can from the numbers," good for you, right? That sometimes that's all you need, right? So good for you. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to use this as a natural transition point. Feel free to catch me over on Instagram. I stream over on Instagram right after this. But I want to thank you for joining me, and you can join me here every day, same time, 1500 GMT, including tomorrow. Sundays, I would usually do a series, but we're taking a break from that. But I'm here Sunday, 1500 GMT. Until then, please take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.